Got a commercial. 1 second. I'm watching my own ad. Check 1 2. How we doing now, guys? Oh, it's hooked up here. Eric, tripping again. Rita. Folks, I'm back on my old phone. I'm back on the Note 8. That's what we're streaming from right now with the Rode Video microphone. Thank you, Eric, for making that happen. Thank you very much. Hats off to Eric in getting that squared away for me. I had no idea, first off, that the music I was using in my video was going to be the same music in Sarah's video. So my apologies if anyone found that odd. I found that kind of strange. And sorry for my ugly hair. I'll put my hat back on. Today's video that Sarah put out of Ibex doing it. Have you guys watched that yet? Who's watched that? You've heard of the word cock block, or the term cock blocking, right? I mean, we all know that term, right? Going after interest of mine, romantic interest of mine, makes it difficult having a person like Sarah around because, well, she's an attractive young lady and, well, I'm fortunate enough to be in her videos. I'm doing that on a business level. It makes sense business-wise to collaborate with someone in your field. Oh, I had to, Rita. No one else would. Rabbits aren't going to do it. I mean, they were just blatantly breaking the law, so that kind of. They were city folks. They didn't know any better. Someday they will learn. But what a night on those dunes. I think we're out there for a few hours, shooting the shit, and I'm going in and out of the internet. So sorry if I just dropped out there, guys. So do you guys have any questions about that video? I should ask you guys before I explain any more because I already know some. I got some questions going on already, so. They knew better. They just didn't care. Oh, okay, Eric. Well, it's a long video, but yeah, it's an interesting one of Sarah's. You get to see some of my handiwork too. I did some of the other shots for her, walking out to dunes and on the dunes themselves. So you're wondering who that person is, that would be me taking the photos and videos. We had a great time out there, and I personally think that I should be her photographer and videographer from here on out. I can definitely sell her behind the scenes stuff on a completely separate channel. That would cover all my costs, and just have two channels basically. One Wonderhussy, and then Wonderhussy's like behind the scenes stuff. What do you guys think? I mean, I proposed that to her. I think she's kind of mulling it over, but what do you guys think? Wouldn't that be kind of neat if you had like, if there was like 2 days out of the month that I just followed her around for a day and editing out inappropriate things, but you know, for the most part, being the fly in the wall for, you know, a 24-hour period with her during her travels for a day, two times a month. I don't know. What do you guys think? Okay, let's see here. Before we get to that, let me catch up. Cool video. Let's get back to the comment you made about the romantic interest. Oh yeah. Rita, she did retire from modeling. What you saw us doing was we were thinking about doing a photo shoot out there, but we didn't have enough time to get ready. So we were really out of schedule. We weren't supposed to be there till the following morning at Ibex, and we weren't planning on camping there, nothing like that. So it was just kind of a fluke thing. We tried getting out there and doing some photos, and we did. You saw those on Facebook and her, my Facebook page, as well as hers, and some other places. So. She's only modeling for herself. The modeling that she was doing and the photography I was doing with her was strictly for her calendar. Every year she does a calendar. A third channel? I mean, mine, hers, and then a third channel? I think that would be cool. Hey, David. Go, Larry. Yeah, I would keep my channel going. She would keep hers going, but there would be those times where we would have like a behind the scenes thing where, I don't know, that'd be kind of neat. But no, she doesn't really do Wonder Larry, Hussy Larry. that makes me laugh, Eric. Sorry. That's good. That's good. We're doing thumbs up today, guys. If you want to do a thumbs up or not, it's up to you. The worst thing you can do is not do a thumbs up or a thumbs down. That would be the damaging thing to do. Larry in the Huss. Eminence Hussy. That actually would not be a bad idea, Eminence Hussy, because that is kind of like a front, but it's not at the same time. The front is that there is no front. The Hussy front times, I like that. Yeah, it could be very scripted. It could be very planned. It would kind of have to be that way. We'd pile a lot of stuff into one day or 2 days out of the month, and just kind of do behind the scenes thing. I don't know. I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be kind of cool. Hussy Fruit Times. I like it. I like the Hussy Fruit Times. That's pretty cool. Kind of works. She did like my cooking. That's a positive thing. I think it was zucchini that night. Steak, of course. That's one of the deals I have with Sarah. If I get called upon and I get selected, I then have to provide steak, at least for one meal, somewhere within the trip. I think she has submitted already. Exactly. I know very well the song. Thank you. Yeah, I like those too. Her little like news reporter kind of character. I like that too. And not around. I don't know. And it's funny because dunes, for the most part, are fairly small compared to the surrounding. Depends on where you're at, but in the United States, you don't have huge swaths of dunes like that where you couldn't walk around them. I guess it depends on the country. It's called Las Vegas Cannabis, I think. Oh, is it? No drama. I just didn't want people to get the wrong impression of what was going on in that video. Hey, Mark. Actually, we have seen a bump on her side too. For some reason, people like the interaction that we have going on. It's something I wasn't expecting. I just treat her like a decent human being, like anyone else. So. She jokes around quite a bit, so her intellect, her smart. That's probably what you see bouncing around between us. She's very quick-witted. Well, you gotta understand, my viewership is very much hers. I mean, most all of my viewers come from her channel, so I don't understand where you're going with this. Kisk. Well, I think you're very wrong in assuming that. I guess he would understand that she just got through with the relationship. So how is it that she's not interested in one? You're making no sense to me. I think someone needs to go send her a love email or something. Was it on the bottom camera? I have it flipped the wrong way. That's when my hand's getting in the way. Well, I like the video. I like my footage in it. And that's that. I've got my phone back. I'm very happy with that. It's beautiful. It's like a brand new phone. The display actually looks sharper. I don't know if that's even possible, but it's good to have the Note 8 back in its full functionality again. And I reinvested in another phone for live streaming, and I'm happy to say that I got the lower of the two phones because I'm not too happy with these prepaid phones at all. But anyway, I might switch over to a different plan with Verizon. I don't know. We'll see. What's going on here? No. No. Hi, Pamela. Hey, Night Rider. Thanks for loving my channel. Thank you. Welcome to the chat, everyone. Those guys in the desert, they were from the city. They weren't really from the desert. People from the desert don't do that kind of shit. People usually from outside coming into the desert tend to drive on that spice too. Oh, thanks, Trippin again. Thanks for liking that video. Yeah, it's a long way down. Well, Todd, that's part of the scenery out there, unfortunately. It's very close to 127, so it's very easy for people to say, I went off-roading, when they just went like 2 miles off a main paved road and they find the dunes, and it's a great photo op, but not a lot of people know that area. Yeah, those dunes, Pamela, that was, I've been up there many times now, and it just gets better and better. I really like the Ibex dunes. It took some convincing to get Sarah to go out there, but I think when she was finally out there, she realized I'm not messing around. Hey, John, they came from the dunes just on the other side called Dumont Dunes. They were just looking for a quiet place, so they found one in a wilderness, protected wilderness area. No one's around for a reason. They knew what the after I spoke with them, they knew what the law was. They elected to break the law anyway. That's on them. We can't. I'm there to point it out, not there to enforce it. So I did my job. Move on. I wasn't in a position to enforce anything. I just let them know what's going on and why we were parked where we were. Tripping again? Yeah, in part of that video of mine, I actually stopped, turn around, and point the camera up to the peak. We actually walked up there. We climbed all the way up there, but we decided not to go any further because we didn't know how much further we had to go before sunset, and we have to scale all the way back up and then back down again. So we decided to drive up. No, those all were one set of dunes, John. That's all that was covered there is the Ibex dunes. Big drop off, yeah. Don't make a wrong move up there. I tried really keeping my distance from Sarah up there. Yeah. It takes some adjusting to figure out how far things are from you. I was helping Sarah with that on this trip. We had some pretty big vantage points on where we were, and as we were leaving the cars on our trip to the cabin, our first video today, we stopped at a couple points. I made sure she checked how far we were from the road. I said, okay, if you look back at the car, that's about 1 mile, it's about 2 miles, and 3 miles. We could see the cars at those distances. So we started getting her acclimated to distances over long stretches like that. I don't know what you're talking about, John. John, there's Dumont Dunes where you can go off-roading. There's also the dunes I went to called the Big Dune. I did that when COVID-19 first started, and I went on to that dune, which is about an hour and a half away from the Ibex dunes. I would not have told them to go there. I would have told them to go to the Dumont Dunes where they can go off-roading, which they just came from. Am I following you right, John? Yes, I have, in my mind, I have another trip planned to go back to that waterfall, the bottom of it, and all those little pools down at the bottom there. I want to go to that. Eric, I think she found out what that orb was. It's an aluminum orb, and I guess they use it for some kind of radar calibration at the military facilities out there. It's something to do with that, I believe. I'm not 100%. The thing's cheaply made. There's no way it was made for the aerospace, for anything in a rocket, I don't think. Man, the image quality in this camera does make a difference. This is the front-facing Note 8 camera. I don't even think I cleaned it, although the face is clean. The lens is. I did buy a case for this camera now, and sorry I'm moving around. I'm taking a look at the back of the camera. The case won't allow me to use the anamorphic lens, unfortunately, unless I cut the back of the case a bit more than it is now. I could certainly do that. Okay. I'm getting ready to go into Arizona. It's funny you bring that up, Night Rider. Rounding up the stray balloons. We found, I think, 4 or 5 balloons out there. I'd love to go to Sedona. There's some places down in Sedona I'd like to explore, actually. They're actually on my map, on my radar. Got another phone. I got a cheaper phone this time since I'm really not going to be using it for anything other than hotspot and live streaming on the Verizon network. Otherwise, if I have Wi-Fi like now, I'll just be using my smartphone like I am. I know you're kidding. I'm the magnet. I'm the magnet for Mylar balloons. Anywhere I go, we seem to find them. Remember that one place we found like 5 or 6 balloons in one bush? Why did that sound not right? Oh, it was on the trip to Chapo Springs, I believe. Oh, you're right, Pam. I'm sorry. I keep thinking it's just me in here. It's everyone else. Oh, there's 42 people here. 27 minutes in. Sarah, jump on pretty much anything that moves, if you ask me. Mylar bushes, the new contraceptive. I can hear her saying it now. Mylar's in the bush. The contraceptive that never deteriorates over time. It actually gets better over time. Can't believe I had another friggin' phone, man. This is terrible. I can't open this box. It's not opening, it's coming off in little pieces. This little stupid perforated tear here thing doesn't actually work because they use too much glue on the box. Mylar in the bush. You can do this. I hate this phone at this point. The Verizon experience has not been so. Well, I like this. How small this is. Oh yeah, they found it's slightly smaller than the. Yeah, it's way smaller. The previous, as well as my current phone. What's the scariest thing I've ever found in the desert? What's the scariest thing I've ever found in the desert? That's a good question. I don't think it's what I found in the desert, it's where I found myself in the desert. The scariest thing, I guess, would be a location. And that would be I was at high elevation. Oh man, well it's okay. This can die, but my laptop cannot. Yeah. At least it gave me time to plug the laptop in before it dies. It usually gives me a split second and it's gone. At least it gave me some time this time. It'd be the scariest place I've been, not what I've found. So that would be, I was about 4,000 feet up in hot weather. I had hiked in the morning, got to my destination around 12 to 1 o'clock, and I started my way back, and I was coming down in elevation into heat. And I started to overheat, and I had to take shelter in the sun, and I created my own shade, and I pulled my tarp out, made my own shade, and I just sat there for a couple hours trying to recover. I was still about 4 miles away from camp, and that was the scariest thing I've ever done. I vowed to never let myself get in that position again. So yeah, I was alone. I got really, really sick. So, I plan my hikes way better now. Yeah, that was not good. It taught me a lot. I could not. I had a very good chance of not making it, but I kept my cool. I did the things that I read about and how to shelter and take care of yourself. So. It's not what I found in the desert, it's where I found myself and without realizing what was going on. Yeah, that was it. I don't go hiking alone anymore into remote areas like that. And if I do go into remote areas, people know when I'm going in and exactly when I'm coming out. Just like with Sarah. We actually got our trip done a day early, so we weren't messing around out there. Anyway, Yikers is right. I found a visor from an airplane that crashed up in Death Valley with Sarah. The plane that went down just before, like 2 days before Christmas, back in the 80s or 90s. The crash is still there. She did a video on it. I've been back there a couple times. But the first time I was out there with her is when she lost her car key to her SUV. But I found a visor that he probably used that unfortunate day that he hit the ground. Yeah. That was pretty scary too. So, I don't know. Interesting stuff. Yes, Pamela. I really did wise up quite a bit, and I told Sarah that if she ever needed someone to hike with, I would certainly be her backup. If someone dropped out, I would happily step in. I don't agree with her going out to the desert by herself. I don't agree with that one bit. She's an independent woman. She's very strong, and she's very capable in doing everything like a professional would. But she's also a human. She's not superwoman. She's very fragile, just like all of us are, me included. Hiking in pairs is safe. I don't care how you cut it. If you find someone that you feel safe with and you can hike with, Sarah does have fear. Sarah does have fear. She has respect for different things, and that's not fear. That's respect for living. Yeah, Dennis, that will mess you up. Yeah, one false move, John, could wreck everything for you. Could wreck your life. Had I not been as close to the bottom of that Mount Potosi as I was, there could have been a lot of trouble. Definitely. So I disagree strongly with her going out in the middle of nowhere without someone with her. Not because she's a wimp, not because she doesn't know what she's doing. It has nothing to do with that. I did not see Tom Green. Yes, she was being very deliberate, and so was I. She's a very smart hiker, and she scrambles well. She knows how to hike and climb. She knows her comfort level, and I know mine. Her and I both tested our limits with that on that hike before we turned around to go back to her car to take the car up. She was very cautious on those boulders. She is a good hiker. A green scorpion. Scary. No, thank you. I do not like scorpions, and I do not like snakes. I've only encountered a couple snakes out here. Maybe 3 rattlers, I think. That's about it. 3 or 4 rattlers. A few scorpions, and a ton of flying insects. I've seen some strange things walking around the desert, too, man. I've seen some strange things flying in the desert. Attributed to military aircraft. I don't leave my shoes on the ground at camp at all. They're usually living in the footwell of one of my seats, usually the passenger rear seat. Honey Bonnie, for you. I'm glad that made your day. They all made your day. You stepped on a scorpion barefoot. Well, it didn't have time to sting you, right? Ouch is right. I've never been stung by anything, I don't think, not even a bee. It's good to have my phone back, folks. I can't even tell you how excited this makes me. And it's back, and it looks great. The image quality seems to be better. I got some low artifacts in this area on the screen. On this video, I can see it. Not really on the screen. Well, I can see it on the screen a little bit, but more so on my monitor, on my phone. Baby rattlesnakes are no joke, man, because they, from what I hear, they have a lot of built-up aggression, and when they bite into you, they just spill their whole load on you. All their poison goes in venom. Yeah, just let it go. Honest business, and just try not to scare it, kind of thing. Totally. What a trip, guys. So you guys are all happy with the videos. Great. Then I won't have to answer much more. Just my emails. Good. Desert Runner. Hey, how's it going? Just making sure you guys have all your answers to today's videos. Mine was pretty straightforward. The only ones I'm worried about is Sarah's latest one. Making sure you guys aren't freaking out. And again up here. It's the smaller of these two, right? Yeah, so I don't need that one. I don't need that phone. I'll be throwing that one away. Yeah, I like the burp. I thought that was perfect. She's a total dude, yeah. I've never stayed in a cabin with her. Wait, no, I should not say that. I stayed in one cabin with her, and it was the geologist cabin, but that's a stone cabin. There's very little ways for critters to get in there. All the other cabins I've been to, I would not sleep within. I would sleep in my vehicle any day. You're talking about rescue cabins. There's no way I would, or volunteer cabins. I would not stay in those. No. Mm. Well, my video today was tripping again was about that hike to those fish. I think you're just tripping out right now. You're talking about my video, right? Robert, thank you. I make my steaks perfect. The only wish I had was that night, I wish I would have left these steaks out to be more room temperature by the time I got back versus cooking them at the temperature I did. So that's the only drawback I had that night was that. But otherwise, they came out perfect. But knowing is half the battle when it's coming to cook the steaks, I think. Take a lot of pride in cooking steak on a hot skillet. So every steak is perfect. I don't know about that. I'm pretty picky. That's okay, Turbo. Yeah, I think she's going to come out with her koi one later. You have yet to spit one out. Okay, good man. Raw or burnt? How about both? Seared perfectly. So I got the nice task of turning this phone on tonight and going about my business. And apparently they wanted to get me to convert to not prepay. Apparently they just change your account over from one thing to another. I did not take advantage of that yet. I haven't warmed up completely to Verizon. I am, but I haven't completely. And apparently I picked up the wrong prepaid card before. I picked up the correct one this time, so. And I got protection. The $10 it cost me that I didn't pick up last time. I got protection. Watch, nothing will happen with the phone. It'll never crack, it'll never break. Matter of fact, it'll never have to be charged again, never in its life. It'll just somehow just always stay charged. And I will never have to use the $10 insurance. That's how they get you. Correct, Dennis. Yes. That's the proper way to make a freaking steak. They were delicious, Knight Rider. When I was out there last time, I cooked a steak for myself. I was out there solo last time, and I did my video. And that was even better because it was left out properly for a good hour and a half before I actually cooked it. Got a couple in lakes. Well, I'm right behind you. It's very important to get them to room temperature. They cook through correctly. If you don't do that, then they cook unevenly. They need to cook from both sides in a certain way. It's weird. It's hard to explain. I've never heard of that, Robert. Yes, it gets relaxed. Mm-hmm. You guys are on it. And it cooks differently. It doesn't take as much heat. It goes into the meat faster. It's really interesting. I like it. It cooks differently, period. I need to find a good steak place in Las Vegas. Honey Bunny. She's on it tonight. Check her out. I'm cooking for Honey Bunny next. Sounds good to me, Dennis. That sounds great, Robert. Bone in is the way to go. Unless you're at camp, bone in is the way to go. Sometimes no bone works better, especially at camp. Did something just fly by me behind me?
You guys want to sit right here?
It's kind of a dungeon back here.
Good?
Thanks, Edward. And welcome to the channel and the live feed. I do these every once in a while, so if people have any questions on the videos. Just another ghost? Okay, just checking. The regular ghost. Yeah, I consider Sarah Jane one of my good friends, one of my best friends. I would never let her down. She asks for help to go on a hike. I don't question. I just say, yes, when do I have to be ready? And she pulls the trigger and we go. She looks out for me, I look out for her. It's a good system we have. She's a good friend and a great hiking person too. I love her like a sister. And I always will. There's nothing she could ever do to me that would make me think otherwise of her. You like how she reacted to me confronting the off-roaders. They're not really off-roaders. They were posers. Real off-roaders would not be doing what they were doing. Trump is full of these kind of off-roaders. They don't go off-roading like that. They go into designated areas where you're allowed to do it. Not in a protected wilderness area on a dune that's in a national park. I mean, they're breaking federal law. It does, Edward. Thank you. You guys irk me on. You really do. You guys probably don't know it, but when I'm thinking of places to go, I often think back to our conversations and what we all talk about. Those koi were crazy incredible. I didn't think they would be there, Robert. I really didn't. Send them into Area 51. Let me in. I'll go in. Give me some permission. I'll go in there. We do, don't we? Quite nicely. I believe that. Huh? I don't know who takes care of those guys. I really don't. I would hate to think that they're relying on just the average person dropping by and discovering that there's food there. I don't know who's taking care of them. They're obviously being taken care of. Okay, guys, I'm gonna bounce. I'm gonna take off. I gotta get this phone started, and I just wanted to make sure because I wasn't expecting that video of Sarah's to come out about Ibex dunes and it turning out the way it did. It just, yeah. I love Sarah like a sister. She knows how I feel about her. And, I'm okay with how it is right now. I will definitely be safe. Take care. Good night. And be nice to each other. Just chill. Be nice to everyone around you. If you can see them, be nice to them, okay? Please. Thumbs up before we leave. Thank you very much for watching. More to come. I'm not quite sure what the next video is going to be, but just 1 or 4 or 5 videos on this way. That's how many I have in the works right now. But if you guys have anything out, please email it to me. Email down below. If you'd like to join my Patreon, Patreon's down below. And if you'd like to donate directly to my channel as well, my PayPal link's down below as well. Thank you, everyone. Be safe. I gotta go edit more videos. I promise I'll leave you guys alone. That's right, I'm on my phone again. I have a phone again. And it works. All these things work. It's amazing. Okay, so how do I turn this up? Up here. Are you sure you want to stop streaming while you use the bathroom?